Really enjoy it here. It's just so natural, the birds, but at times it gets a little bit hard. We don't have any facilities here, we don't have any running water or electricity, but it's all worthwhile in the end.
We have to do all our cooking on the open fire and heating our water for our baths as well. And when the weather's good, we just love cooking outside. It's so pleasant.
Oh, right through the middle.
I'm very lucky I've got a husband that doesn't mind chopping wood. And when we make a cup of tea, we love a cup of tea on the fire. Well, we get a lovely smoky taste, and I go down to the water's edge and gather herbs. There's lemon balm and there's mint growing down there. Makes a really beautiful cup of tea.
Well, Mill Cottage was built in 1852 by an early pioneer to Akaroa, and he and his 4 sons chopped the trees down on the property and pit sawed all the timber to build Mill Cottage. And after a period of time, they then proceeded to build a flour mill.
In 1853, the opening of the mill was advertised, and this was a great joy to the pioneering ladies because it meant they no longer had to hand grind their wheat every day to make flour. This painting is the only record we have of the mill's existence. On the right is the mill building and water wheel, and in the centre you can just see the cottage. The only changes we've made are the 3 dormer windows which we've added to let more light in upstairs. I make the bread about twice a week, and it keeps very well because it's made of pure wholemeal flour and a little bit of kibbled rye, and I use kelp as well and honey and with a little bit of yeast, And then I put it in the flower pot. I like flower pots because they retain the heat very well. And then I put the whole flower pot inside the saucepan and put the lid on, and then I put it over into the fire with a fairly low heat, not too high. And then I put the ashes on top of the lid, which gives heat at the top as well as the heat coming up from the bottom of the fire. This makes really lovely crunchy bread. It takes about 20 minutes to cook. The loaf's beautifully cooked, you can tell by the sound it makes. And it's nice and cool and all ready for cutting.
Duckies, come on! Come on, duckies! Come on! Come on! Nice bib, come on! Duckies, come on!
Every day we feed the ducks. They come over every morning for their breakfast. There used to be 15 of them, there's only 5 now. I think probably an eel has been attacking them, eating them up. Frequently I go down through the village, which is an old French settlement, to the harbour. I really enjoy going down to the beach because I'm an organic gardener and I just love gathering seaweed to fertilise the plants. The citrus trees especially enjoy seaweed. Well, a swarm of bees have just gathered on the grapefruit tree, so I've just called Mark Bradley, our local apiarist, to give me a hand to put them in a hive. What's the reason for this happening, Mark?
Oh, well, normally the hive builds up. It's 2 reasons. Either the hive builds up to too many bees in the one hive, or else some hives have a hereditary tendency to swarm, and so they'll lay queen cells and have another queen, and usually the old queen takes off. I think it's the old queen, pretty sure, and takes a whole lot of the bees with her, a whole lot of young, strong workers, and they just take off and look for another hive. It's a way of spreading the hive.
So do you think those bees there are good bees?
Well, I mean, you can't say. I mean,
no.
How do you mean good? In what respect?
Well, they're not the swarming type of bee.
Oh well,
You can't tell.
no. Sometimes they are, but then you can re-queen them with a good queen, and that usually can stop the tendency to swarm.
After a busy day at Mill Cottage with the bees arriving and all the other unexpected things that happen, there's nothing nicer than sitting down to a nice big stew. Michael likes nothing better than that. And we sit down and really enjoy it. But sometimes we do have problems. The wood gets wet and we really have to pump away to get the fire going.
Some mohair I'm spinning, and I'm going to actually knit this up into a lovely shawl. It's very soft wool, and it's from Gilbert the goat. And in the spring I brush him every day when he's molting and collect the wool.
Gilbert's quite useful sometimes for cutting the grass and getting rid of the blackberry, but he can be jolly naughty little boy sometimes, the way he climbs up that plum tree. He eats all our plums.
Look at him eating away there.
One of my great joys is picking plums. I've got about 13 varieties of plums here. If I don't hurry up and pick them, the jolly old birds get them.
These little bags I make out of newspaper, and I put the plums in these bags. I sell them like that. They're lovely, these plums too. They're all organically grown and unsprayed. And I just pop them in the little bags, and then I put them out at the gate. I sell them very cheaply.
One of the things we really enjoy with one of our main forms of relaxation is going across the stream and climbing over the fence to our next door neighbours to have a tootle on our instruments. It's a bit awkward getting over the fence sometimes though.
Right, okay, this is so lovely, I would have loved it. 1, 2, 3. That's just completely in unison, so that's not of no advantage.